Um, for today, I wanted to tap into the heart chakra a little bit, just to offer some compassion. Um, if you have any awareness of the news, and not everybody is like, social justice warriors that know everything that takes place in the world, but I do think we have a sense of awareness of what is taking place in the world. And for those that have a sense of compassion and maybe even work in some of the fields that are caretakers and healthcare workers and teachers and mentors, we see firsthand a lot of some of the impact that is happening in our communities, just in a sense of stress and trauma and exhaustion and burnout and fatigue. And so for us as providers, there's compassion fatigue, there's burnout. It's exhausting seeing a lot of the day-to-day work being put in and a lot of the negativity being what's glorified and what's put in the news, despite the efforts of the community of people that are trying to make a difference in the world. And so I just wanted to offer ourselves and others some compassion, because despite all the negativity that is glorified and romanticized and pushed down our throats in the media, there are people in this world that have a lot of grace and compassion and love and empathy and are kind people. And I think there is more of us than there is of people who are negative. And so I just want those that are tuning in to really just take a moment to send whatever your compassion or whatever your passion is about, right? I think a lot of us, especially if you follow me, you have some sense of justice, and maybe about women's rights or about children or about immigration, about racism, about just whatever your passion or your concern is, whatever you're stressed out about, because there's so much going on in the world, in the nation, in politics, natural disasters, mass shootings, all these things that is going on in the world, in the media. I'm sure you're aware of something. What is it that you can send your heart out to? What is it that you can send your compassion out to, your love out to? And just sending your own healing energy, your own loving energy out to the world, into that space, into that environment that you feel close to, that has been maybe causing you some stress or some angst. Maybe it's the children in your community, maybe it's mental health world, the mental health space, maybe it's the healthcare space. Taking a moment to just reflect of sending positive, healing, loving energy to that space, instead of coming from a place of worry and concern and fear. Because the only thing that we can do is control ourselves in a lot of cases, right? And so people think, you hear a lot of people like say things like, what is prayer going to do? What is meditating going to do? What is things like that? Like it feels like helplessness, learned helplessness of what are these small efforts going to do. But when you really sit and focus on what is in my control and what can I do to change the energy and the space around me, whether it's my work environment, my home environment, I'm changing the atmosphere that is going to ripple out into the environment around me. And although it might not be a big impact where I'm changing policy or I'm changing the nation, but I'm changing my environment, and it's doing more good doing that and sending love and healing energy and that compassion out into the space in my environment than negativity and hate and criticism and judgment, and letting that ripple effect become the energy that I put out into the space. And then that snowballs. And you can only do what's in your control. And I think even in that, when you realize how much you're empowered in the energy that you have control over, maybe you feel more empowered to write letters, to make phone calls, to peacefully protest, to petition, to do advocacy work, and use your voice and use your mission to take it a step further. But it starts at home. It starts with yourself It starts with giving yourself compassion and giving those around you compassion. And so I just want to take a moment to just take a couple deep breaths, sending healing, loving energy to whatever specific thing you have a passion or interest in that's really on your heart today. And then we'll sit and journal and reflect on that, and then get into our sound bath meditation. So just taking a few moments to send out healing, loving energy out into the space, out into the world, out into the nation. This past week there's been a lot of tragedy, a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of loss, a lot of grief. And so as a community, those tuning in, those listening, and those sending energy out as well, I send love, I send grace, I send compassion. And I hope that those out in the community feel empowered to heal within the community as well, and helping each other and uplifting each other and being a support to each other. So just taking a moment to reflect. So take a few moments to think about what you reflected on, what came to your heart, what effort, what situation, what's kind of been pulling at some of your empathy and your compassion, because there's a lot. And so what did you send that healing, loving energy to? Take a few moments to go ahead and journal about what you reflected on, what you thought of, and what came across your heart. And then we'll come back together and start our sound bath meditation. Alright, fam. If you want to go ahead and get comfortable, you can lay down on your mat, or you can stay seated, up to you. But you want to get comfortable. So I got two different frames going. I got Instagram and YouTube going. So that's why I'm just like, stay in the frame of both. Crazy world out here in technology. Alright. That's probably the problem. We need to unplug But go ahead and get comfortable. Relax on your mat. Go ahead and close your eyes. Again, reflect on sending that healing, loving energy out into the space, even to yourself, giving grace and compassion, and just sending love out into the world. if you want to gently go ahead and wiggle your toes. Start going ahead and moving your legs around. Getting a good stretch. Go ahead. Stretch your torso. Rotate your neck. Clockwise and counterclockwise. And you can gently get up at your own leisure. I do appreciate you joining me this evening. Again, just wanting to send out light and love this evening. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm here every Sunday, 8 p.m. on YouTube and now Instagram Live. I'm trying to do both. You can catch me here every week, every Sunday, 8 p.m. live, as well as I have my Healing Not Heal air every Thursday morning. Make sure, again, like, share, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, all the things at Healing Crown Counseling, Healing Crown Wellness. And again, I appreciate you being here with me. The light that is within me sees the light that is within you. Namaste, and have a good evening. Good night.